Have you ever felt something moving at the periphery of your vision, only to find nothing there when you turn to look? The sensation can be disconcerting. A fleeting shadow, a sudden flutter, a mere hint of motion that vanishes as soon as your gaze shifts. This enigma, this unseen movement, is a phenomenon that has intrigued and puzzled many. When you see these shadowy figures, it might not necessarily mean there's a phantom lurking in your home. It could be a sign of heightened sensitivity, a new awareness blossoming within you, or it could be an indicator of an imbalance, perhaps triggered by recent life events or changes. Your mind's eye, that powerful and often overlooked sixth sense, might be trying to tell you something. It's fascinating, isn't it? How multiple people in the same environment can experience similar things. Imagine you and your loved ones living under the same roof, perceiving these unseen movements. Could it be a collective consciousness at work, or is there something more to it? It's important to remember that this isn't just about what you see, but also about what you feel. When you notice these occurrences, take a moment, pause, breathe, and make a conscious note of what you're seeing. Don't just observe the movements, but also the emotions, the thoughts that accompany them. The answers you seek might not be in the external world, but within your own inner visions. Perhaps it's not about a haunting at all. It could be the energy within your family, an echo of unspoken issues, suppressed fears or stresses, life changes, work pressures, new relationships. All these can subtly shift how we perceive our surroundings. So before you jump to conclusions, take a step back. Are there unspoken concerns or stresses within your family? Could these unseen movements be a manifestation of these underlying issues? Remember, we often haunt ourselves more frequently than we realize. Remember, what you see out of the corner of your eye may be more about your inner world than the outer one. Have you ever seen an apparition or figure that you just couldn't explain? You're not alone. In this particular instance, our family in question has reported seeing a misty black apparition and a dog-like figure. These sightings are undoubtedly perplexing and can induce a sense of unease. But before we jump to conclusions and deem it a haunting, let's consider some alternative theories. In many cultures, apparitions are believed to be manifestations of energy. They could be a reflection of the collective energy within a household. So when a family sees such apparitions, it might be more of an indication of the family's internal dynamics rather than the presence of an external entity. Now let's consider this dog-like figure. Animals, particularly dogs, are often seen as protectors in folklore and mythology. They symbolize loyalty, protection, and guidance. Could it be that this dog-like figure is a symbolic manifestation of a family member's subconscious desire for protection or guidance? It's also worth considering the emotional climate within the home. Unresolved issues, unexpressed emotions, or deep-seated fears can manifest in various ways, including physical phenomena such as these apparitions. In psychology, there's a term for this: psychosomatic manifestation, when our mental or emotional state begins to influence our physical reality. So could it be that these apparitions are not a sign of a haunting, but rather a reflection of unspoken concerns or tensions within the family? This is not to dismiss the possibility of the paranormal, but it's essential to explore all plausible explanations. Perhaps it's time for the family to sit down, open up, and discuss any underlying issues they might be facing. It's possible that the resolution to these mysterious sightings lies not in the realm of ghosts and spirits, but in the realm of open communication and emotional honesty. Could these apparitions be echoes of unspoken tensions within the family? It's a question worth pondering. Ever heard a sound that sent chills down your spine, or noticed an object missing only to find it in an unexpected place later? Sounds and objects behaving oddly are both common phenomena reported in situations of perceived paranormal activity. But just like the visual phenomena we discussed earlier, these too might be manifestations of the same unsettled energy within your family. Let's consider the sounds. Random noises can be unsettling, especially when they seem to come from nowhere. You might hear a soft whisper, a sudden bang, or even a low growl. But before jumping to conclusions, it's crucial to consider the other possibilities. Could these sounds be a result of faulty wiring, creaking floorboards, or even the house adjusting to temperature changes? Now, what about the objects that mysteriously disappear and reappear? This phenomenon is quite common and often attributed to the mischievous behavior of entities known as poltergeists. However, it might not be that supernatural. Have you considered that it could be due to forgetfulness or a busy schedule causing you to misplace things? But let's assume for a moment that these phenomena are not due to natural causes. What then? Are these signs of a haunting? Or could they be outward manifestations of the same energy causing the visual phenomena? The sounds you hear might be echoes of unspoken worries, while the disappearing objects could symbolize feelings of loss or the fear of losing control. Remember, it's important to address the underlying issues within the family that could be causing these experiences. Perhaps there's a family member who's feeling unheard, leading to the phantom sounds. Or maybe the missing objects are a manifestation of a fear of loss or change. So the next time you hear an inexplicable sound or find an object missing, take a moment. Reflect on what's happening within your family at that moment. The answers might surprise you. What if the sounds you hear and the objects that go missing are not signs of a haunting, but echoes of your own unspoken fears and anxieties? So, what's really happening with this family? Is their home haunted, or is it something else? We've journeyed through the unseen movements, the misty apparitions, and the unsettling sounds and disappearing objects. It's been a roller coaster of a story, teetering on the edge of the paranormal. But let's take a step back. Could it be that the phenomena are more related to the family's energy and underlying issues than an actual haunting? Are the spectres they see merely shadows of their own anxieties and internal turmoil? It's a possibility that's hard to ignore. Remember, folks, our perceptions are often colored by our personal circumstances and underlying emotions. So, the next time you experience something out of the ordinary, consider what you're feeling internally. It might just be a reflection of your own state of mind. Perhaps the real hauntings in our lives are the ones we create for ourselves. It's a thought that might just change the way you look at things.